I want to do repeatability. I only make one beer, then I make a lot, and it turns out fine every single time. But I want to start doing other batches that way. So, do you have any tips on your consistency doing batch to batch? Because I know you like to make the Irish, what is it? The Irish dry stout. There's like another
Yeah,
one I think you make
my
quite
wife
often as
really
well too.
loves the stouts or the porters.
Yeah.
I think probably the best way to say or clarify what I would do there is that's one of the few that actually died. I'm terrible at, of all things. I'm terrible at documenting. You're saying I'm an engineer and I'm terrible at documenting these. In the beginning, I did a lot of documentation, tracking, gravity, all that stuff. I got to a point where, it was getting fairly consistent. So I just kind of quit tracking it, just one little extra step that, in the end, they all tasted good, pretty much. And, if it was a 0.5% off, I was drinking it anyways. So
Nothing wrong
I'm
with
sharing it.
that.
So, but yeah, I think those, the darker beers, just because I know they can be a little more temperamental at times, those I tracked and duplicated the process a lot
Okay.
instead of just being a little.
Mm.
And on that note, though, those do boil over faster, man.
Yes. Yeah. Just a little more
I've
sugars
had
in
it
them for
happen a few
sure.
times.
Has it? I've knock on wood. I've not had it boil over yet. I've come close, but I have a spray bottle. I just spray the crap out of it to keep that down. It's just always been kind of fun. Excuse me, I choked down some spit there. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, so I definitely want to get better at consistency. Yeah, I think cold side would definitely help me out with that as well too. I want to, I know I have come up with like simple recipes. Like I do like doing smash beers, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, but since you have like hoppy beers, you will love a smash beer because it's just a single malt, single hop. So for you, if you wanted to get into like a brew in the bag kind of stuff, that's what I would recommend. Find a good base malt like Mare's Otter or Two Row, and then find a hop that you really like, those Citra or Mosaic. Trying to think of another one on top of my head. But anyways, you would just use one of those and then just figure out like a good drop schedule for like the hops. So if you want more of a hoppy beer or less of a hoppy beer, the good thing about those smash beers is besides trying to get consistencies, I think you get closer to understanding what Mears Otter tastes like and what that hop tastes like and what the yeast tastes like together. So when you start to develop a better recipe, that's kind of another step I want to get to. I want to start coming up with my own recipes. Granted, I mean, it may not be true to style, but if I get close to it, I'd be fine with that. There's been alt beer, whatever they're
Well, and
called.
if it's something you like and enjoy, I mean, that's what's most
Exactly.
important.
Exactly. So,
And I
um,
think, you're talking about consistency. You're a
yeah,
lot closer to consistency than I am, just because of the equipment and the setup you do have. You're using a
right.
lot of stainless. You're using a lot of a more controlled environment.
I'm definitely trying to.
I'm still depending on the ambient temperature in a bucket, right?
Yeah.
So, for me to get consistency, I'm not looking that heavily at it. I just ensure that in the end that what I'm producing just has hopefully really good flavor.
Good flavor, yeah. The food's safe and all that good
I
stuff.
mean, I think back a few of these places I've gone into, and I'm sure you've seen the same. I mean, like where we went together into that shop, basically this brew shop was right next to the service. There was no
Yeah.
door that closed it out or anything.
Yeah.
So, and they made good beers. And you go to these other places that are so sterile, it's almost scary to go into those areas.
Right.
And then I think back, 100, 200 years ago or more,
Well, they
they were
didn't.
there was just open pits they were throwing this stuff
Yeah.
in, and they were still drinking. It was fine.
Yep.
So, and I think it's just, I don't want to say the luck of the draw, but I just think it's ultimately is you want to make sure that that's the flavor that you're trying to get out of it. And,
100%.
you're not spiking it so high in alcohol, because I mean, you can add a ton of sugar to it and shoot the alcohol up.
Yeah, 100%.
Then that almost makes it unenjoyable. And sometimes it becomes so overly carbonated that they're not